Okay, here is the situation. As I'm sure a lot of you remember, the last time that we talked about Telcoin, it was right in here. And I said, look, there's a good chance that we are going to get soon another big move on the upside, maybe about like a 50% move. And as you can see, we did actually get it. This is the point that I'm trying to make. Just because my analysis was correct, this did actually happen, doesn't mean that I am 100% of the times right. Absolutely not. This is not true. I'm only here trying to get it right 6 out of 10 times. This just happened to be one of those 6 times that I was right. I can be very well wrong, and you shouldn't really put a lot of hopes in my analysis, or for that matter, any other analyst on YouTube. Feel free to watch the videos, but please understand that every single analyst can be wrong. Just because we got it right this time doesn't mean I am right always. I want you to fully understand that. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And as you can see, Telcoin is just keep going higher and higher. And here is the deal. What if this thing right in here is just going to be the start of the show and the real show hasn't even started yet? I think this might be a possibility, and I'm going to tell you why. First, let's zoom in more in here and see what is happening. If you remember, the reason that we said in here we're gonna get probably another big move on the upside was because in terms of classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances, it seemed like that we got a solid break of this very strong resistance area. And I said, look, we can have some consolidations above this level in order to complete the pullback phase. And after it, we can expect another big move up in order to reach to somewhere around the next important level, which is going to be all the way up here between, let's say, 0.0048 to about 0.0058. And as you can see, we are here now. So the question is, what can we expect in Telcoin right now for the next couple of days? Well, in order to find the answer for that, I think we need to pay attention to two very important points. Number one, I want you to understand that this resistance area is way stronger than all of these areas combined together. And for me, it makes perfect sense for us to hang around this area for a bit, and then after it, we can have a big move on the upside. This is the first important point. The second important point is going to be in terms of Elliott waves and the fact that there is a chance this might be 5 up into a wave 1, correction for wave 2, big move up into wave 3. This move down is probably a WXY. I think it was in form of a flat and a zigzag into wave 4. And this can be this yellow one, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 5. And what happens after a 5 wave on the upside? You know it, a correction, a structure down, some sort of a consolidation pattern. So this is another very important point that suggests maybe in the next couple of days, we are going to have some choppy price action in here. But again, I want you to understand this is going to be just a correction. And after it's over, we are going to get another big move on the upside. Now, we can have in this region two main different scenarios according to what we said earlier. Either we are going to consolidate under this very important support area, or we can have a move up in order to go above this region and get our initial breaking phase, and then we can consolidate above here in order to have the pullback phase, and followed by that we can have a continuation of the move up. Ideally, I would very much like this scenario right in here to happen in TL, because at that point I'm going to be able to be bullish in the short term with a lot more confidence. In my opinion, this resistance right in here is actually that important. If we get a break of it, the road on the upside is going to be, believe it or not, much more clear, and we might see at that point something very special in TL. Now, here is a very important question. Why do I keep saying that maybe the real show hasn't even started in Telcoin? That's because of the structures on higher time frames. You see, these lines are in terms of Elliott waves, and if you are a new viewer, which I do think a lot of you are, because these days every time that I make a video I get a bunch of new viewers and sub, I need to tell you, that in terms of Elliott waves, if you want to argue, for example, we are going to have our final bottom somewhere around here, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, you need to be able to find off of the lowest low in this region a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. Now, this specific example is a normal 5 wave. The rules for it are we shouldn't have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of impulsive structure, wave 3 right in here should not be the smallest wave and 4 subwaves. We must have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. Let's just take this one. There we go. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different scenarios. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. Let's say, yeah, A, B, C, D, E, a triangle into 4, and maybe like a WXY into wave 2. Understood? Okay, let's go on the live chart and count some waves. So here is the situation. This shadow right in here doesn't actually exist on a lot of other charts. For example, if I just go on Bybits 1, I think we're not having that shadow there. As you can see, we definitely do not have this shadow right in here. And according to this chart, I can identify another bullish scenario which suggests that we may have a 1, 2. This can be a 1 and a 2, and followed by that, we can have starting from here and ending to about this low, another 1, 2, but this is going to be on a lower degree relative to this yellow 1 and 2, and the idea is that the current move on the upside is going to be into this wave 3, and after it's over, we're going to get correction for 4, and yet another big move up into wave 5, and at that point, these are going to be the subwaves for this larger degree wave 3, and then correction for 4, another move up into wave 5, and according to this thing, it seems like that our move up in Telcoin is just far from over. This is why I keep saying maybe in Telcoin, the real moves on the upside hasn't even started. And if we get a break of that support area, which was right around these regions, at that point, again, because the road on the upside is much more clear, who knows, maybe you're going to see another 3 to even 400% move on the upside. I think that can actually be in play. So at the moment, in Telcoin, we are looking extremely bullish. And I have a very hard time believing that our move up is over. I think this might be just the beginning of it, but this doesn't mean that from here, we're going to go straight up and we're not going to stop. No, it doesn't mean that for the next couple of days, because we are around this very important resistance area, which is from weekly and daily time frame. At the same time, we can actually have some sort of a consolidation pattern in here, but I want you to fully understand this is just going to be a correction. We do not have, at the moment, at least based on what I'm seeing, anything to be worried about in Telcoin. And after this pattern is over, I'm expecting some more huge moves on the upside in order to continue our magnificent bull run in TEL. And if, again, this is a very big if we're not gonna have this thing right in here, and instead, for example, you see in the next couple of days, just a decently sharp move on the upside, maybe something like this, in order to continue setting higher highs and higher lows, at that point, this white 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not going to be in play, and instead we are going to have a much bullish scenario in Telcoin that suggests our bull run in TEL might actually accelerate quite a bit. But since we're not there yet, and since again we are at the moment under this very important area, let's be a bit careful and say makes perfect sense for us to get some sort of a consolidation pattern in this region. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Telcoin's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.